What's going on, guys? 2 Cents is back here. Listen, not gonna cut any of this, not gonna edit this. It's gonna be raw footage. Gonna be addressing the controversy around one of my recent videos, the video I did about Dr. Umar. I want to make myself very clear to anybody who was offended by the things that I said. I, at the end of the day, am a black man in America. I, at the end of the day, live with the reality that at any time of the day when I leave my house, something can happen to me because of how prevalent racism is in our country. It is not something that goes over my head. It is not something that I don't acknowledge. And it is not something that I frown upon. I am proud of my skin color. I am proud of my heritage. I am proud of the sacrifices that my parents, my grandparents, and my great-grandparents, and my ancestors have made. I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more proud to be a black person because I understand how strong we are as a community. I will always stand with my community. I will stand with my brothers and my sisters till the end. I will always advocate for racial equality. I will always advocate for racial justice, and I will always speak against injustices. Now, when it comes to my disagreement with Dr. Umar, who I did refer to as delusional, I felt like he was being delusional on this one point when it came to interracial marriage, because his idea is that we shouldn't be with anybody who is not black, despite how good of a person they might be to us. He sees interracial marriage as eliminating the black family. What I was trying to say, and the point that I was trying to make, was that he was prioritizing this aspect of life. He was trying to prioritize interracial marriage and interracial couples as a whole, rather than talk about the actual events and things that bother our community. He didn't touch up on things like systemic racism. He didn't touch up on the single motherhood rate in the black community being over 70%. He didn't touch up on the fact that systemic racism plagues our justice system and our judicial system to the point where black men are disproportionately placed in prison and are given harsher sentences than white men. Same goes for black women and white women. There are racial disparities that we cannot fight against because we don't have the systemic power to do so. At least not yet. And it is important that we acknowledge these things. And these are things that I have always acknowledged. These are things that I've learned over my past 3 years going to college. They didn't teach me about systemic racism in high school. I learned a lot of it from my parents, from my grandparents, from my great-grandparents. That is a history that I am proud to learn, because as a black man, it is important for me to be aware. And when I did that video, maybe I wasn't aware. Do I regret all of the things that I said? I can't say that I do. But I do regret one thing, and that is the way that I said it. I don't regret what I said, but I regret how I said it and how I delivered it. What is eliminating the black family is systemic racism in our prison system that disproportionately targets black men, police brutality, longer sentences and conviction rates for black men, and the single motherhood rate in the black community. That is what threatens our community. And those are just a few things. So where I do disagree with Dr. Umar on interracial marriage, I probably agree with him on a whole lot more than any of his supporters think. So this goes to all of the people that put some interesting statements in my comment section in that video. I didn't mean to offend any of you. I don't mean to insult any of you who feel a certain way. And I am all for being loyal to the Black community, because I am always loyal to my community, because these are topics that I've been passionate about. When I was a kid, I told my mom I wanted to be the president of the United States. I still truly believe that that's a possibility. But it's something that will never happen, at least not again for a Black man, until we start moving forward as a society. And it won't matter until we get rid of things like systemic racism. It's important that we do stick together and we do stand for each other. I will always stand with my community, okay? I want everyone to know that. I'm not leaving my community at all. I will always be a Black man. Nothing will ever stop that from being true. It's irrefutable. I'm a Black man at the end of the day, at least in the eyes of America. You know? I want everyone who found a problem with my statements to understand that, yes, this is how I feel, but it is not everything. Because I think that there are far worse things for us to worry about than who we marry. Because as long as we stand together and we fight for each other, we will always be a whole community. We will always be whole as the Black community. So I want you all to understand that I stand with my community, and I must have said it like 4 times already, but I do stand with my community. And that I am sorry if people were offended by any of the statements that I made. My intentions were not to insult my community. I hope I made myself very clear in this video. If you bothered watching this video in its entirety, leave a comment, because I like interacting with people. 2 cents. Out.